You know, there's a lot of people putting on for the culture, and I have to tell you, it's really cool that it's making its way to the ring.
It's time for Wrestling for the Culture, where we take a look inside to see what the wrestlers of color have been doing this week.
Wrestling for the Culture, brought to you by the Wrestling Wrealm. You know where to find us. Subscribe to us on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, and Podbean. And make sure you are right there to get your podcast each and every week. So, we're going to start things off differently this week because there's a new faction and they are called The Culture at NYWC up in New York. You guys know Willow Nightingale. We mentioned her, featured her here. And one of the things you may know, she's always been smiley and bubbly. But guess what? No more. She said it is time, she's going to take names, kick butts, and guess what? She is aligned with a bunch of other good brothers. And I'm going to go ahead and list them to you because this is what the culture consists of. So you have Kris Bishop, and then you have Brandon Watts, the NYWC Fusion Champion. Then you have the Rep, Nate Carter and David McCall, the NYWC Tag Team Champions and their former CZW Champions. And then you have King Mega, the two-time and current NYWC Heavyweight Champion. And of course you have Willow Nightingale, the two-time and longest reigning Starlet Champion. Guess what? A total of 738 plus days. So they are definitely putting on for the culture, and like I said, that is a group you do not want to mess with. And while we're right there, because that obviously deserves to be talked about, I have to read off what Miss Nightingale posted on her Instagram. And this is what it says, which you can find her at W_Nightingale_. I've proven myself as the most dominant Starlet champ of all time, no question. I'm over the cute little games NYWC Wrestling have lined up for me. I want a real challenge. Until y'all give me some real competition, I'll be hanging back with the culture, showing you guys who really run this place. So I have to tell you, I am excited about the culture. I can't wait to see what they have lined up for each and everybody coming up, because these guys and that lady do not play. Trust me when I tell you. And the Rep, I watched them take care of business in CZW like it was nobody else's. They ain't have time for it. They went there, same thing. They was tired of constantly being looked over, and all the smiles, all the games. They was like, enough of this. So that's translating to New York, and we're going to see what happens on the East Coast. But let's move on, because Kofi Kingston has set another record, 954 plus days, and he's passed Billy Gunn, who was the held the record for most days as WWE Tag Team Champion. Now that record belongs to Kofi Kingston, so he's out there doing it, I have to say, and I can't wait to see what happens with him. And many people out there saying it's time to give Kofi the WWE Championship. They want to see him wear, as they say, the big belt. So only time will tell. I don't know when it's going to happen, but you never know. So we'll have to see. I guess we'll probably have to wait on that one, nonetheless. But moving on, let's talk about NXT, because before we get there, we're going to start with the one person that we've been waiting for her debut, and it's finally happened, folks. It's official. Like I said last week, I mentioned her, with her win in the Mae Young Classic, but now it is official. Mia Yim is a member of the NXT roster, the WWE family, taking her rightful place where she belongs, and I'm very excited to see where her career goes from here. She got a win this week over Aaliyah in her debut. NXT Fort Pierce is where they were, and while we're right there, let's just talk about NXT, because this week some other wrestlers put on for the culture. As you can see, shout out to the fans out there who posted the pictures. Lacey Lane and Raul Mendoza defeated Kona Reeves and Vanessa Bourne. Keith Lee defeated Tony Nese. Jima Rama and the Street Profits defeated Luke Menez, Rinku Singh, and, excuse me for the pronunciations, Saurav Gurjar. I apologize if pronouncing that wrong. And then last but not least, EC3 teamed with Ricochet to defeat Lars Sullivan and the Velveteen Dream. So definitely we saw this week NXT put on for the culture. And she may be injured, but she's still winning titles. That is Sasha Banks, who also repped the culture this week when she was known as Little Perps on MTV's Wildin' Out, and her and the black team picked up the win, and so therefore Sasha Banks adds a new title. I don't think she'll lose this one in a few days, but nonetheless, congratulations to Sasha Banks out there doing her thing. Let's stay with the women. Moving on over to Monday Night Raw, we saw Nia Jax take out Alicia Fox this week. Man, Nia, she's just, glad to see her back. Obviously, Alicia Fox, she goes on these rants and whatnot, but she just couldn't handle Nia Jax. Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley working like a well-oiled machine. How about that? So this week, Bobby Lashley picked up the win over Elias due to a disqualification. Kevin Owens interfered, and Lio Rush was right there, but nonetheless, Bobby Lashley getting the win. And sticking with Lio Rush, he picked up the win this past week on 205 Live over Noam Dar. So congratulations to him. Going back to Bobby Lashley, Mixed Match Challenge. Him and Mickie James, they picked up the win over over Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal. So a lot of things going on with Lashley and Lio Rush. They was very victorious. But let's move on over to SmackDown. So, R-Truth decided that he was going to have his own show called Truth TV, which he had featured Daniel Bryan, and his sidekick Carmella was there, which you might see, she dyed her hair. But how about R-Truth? Been around the game for years in the WWE. Say what you want about him. That dude has found a way to keep a job, and he's entertaining, and he's lifeless character. Timeless character. So I think he always finds a way to keep everybody winning. And then him and Carmella got in a dance-off with Asuka, their mixed match opponent, who unfortunately they lost the match to Asuka and The Miz, who won it last year. But nonetheless, they had a little fun, had a little dance-off, which, Asuka, she picking up that win for the culture. Now move on, because she teamed up with Naomi on SmackDown, and the two would go ahead and defeat Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. So congratulations to them. So now it's time let's go back on the indie scene, because we have a new champion. Somebody first time mentioned her on Wrestling for the Culture, and that is Ravana Xia, as she defeated Aja Pereira to become the inaugural WGWE, that is West Georgia Wrestling Entertainment Women's Champion. She is the first champion for that company. So congratulations to her. And then Nicole Savoy, she was in last year's Mae Young Classic. If you may know, she is the Shimmer Women's, I apologize. She is the Shimmer World Champion, and she's still the Shimmer Champion, as she defeated Konami to retain the title. So congratulations to her. And then this past week, London Ali picked up a win over Zoe Sky. So a lot of these women out here. Oh wait, so still have another one. The one and only Miss Jocelyn Navarro. She picked up a win this past week over Brandon Xavier in a private event up in Toronto. So congratulations to those ladies. doing big, kicking butts, taking names, letting people know that, look, these women of color are just as good in the ring. And so not only are they beautiful to look at, but they can kick butt too. So if, like I tell people all the time, if the WWE isn't your thing, there's a lot of wrestling out here. Now let's go to Ring of Honor, because they had Death Before Dishonor this past weekend, and we saw Jonathan Gresham defeat Bruiser. Yeah, the Beer City Bruiser this week. So good, big win for him. And then we saw Sumi Sakai retain her Women of Honor Championship as she defeated Tenille Dashwood, formerly known as Emma, due to a ref stoppage. And then there was Kenny King, who picked up what many are calling the upset win over the legend himself, Jushin Thunder Liger. So big win for Kenny King. I'm a fan of his, always have been, so I ain't gonna call it necessarily an upset, Jushin Thunder Liger's been there a long time, but guess what? Kenny King is that dude, so you expect him to win matches like that. So big congrats to him. And then Jay Lethal retained his ROH championship when he defeated Will Ospreay. So huge wins for wrestlers of the culture this past week. So congratulations to them. So make sure, like I said, if you have submissions, make sure you send them to me at mrmaineventbdub@gmail.com or wrestlingrealm@gmail.com. I'll definitely be happy to take them. And guess what? I'm not gonna sit up here and say I'm perfect, so help me out with the phonetic spelling. So if I mispronounce anything or mispronounce your name, I apologize. It's my job that if I hear it, I have to make sure I get it right. So a lot of these names I haven't heard, to be honest with you. So, but ladies and gentlemen, make sure you are following the Wrestling Realm each and every day on Twitter, because we're always posting content at Wrestling Realm. And make sure you like us on Facebook, and of course subscribe to the channels. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button right now on YouTube. Until the next time, folks, so long everybody.